Hello, I'm Cheryl Scully, your City Manager. City of San Antonio employees are dependent upon daily to provide the highest possible level of service to the community. With the responsibility of public service, there is also the necessity to operate in an impartial and fair environment. There are many qualities that I value in the workplace. First and foremost is integrity. Therefore, I would like for every city employee to have a better understanding of what is expected of you as an employee of the city. The purpose of the video that you are about to watch is to clearly define what is acceptable ethical behavior in our organization. As you know, the City of San Antonio adopted a code of ethics to establish high standards of conduct for current and former employees, city officials, as well as lobbyists and individuals doing business with the city. Our city's code of ethics, presented through various vignettes in this video, will help to ensure that each of us conducts ourselves in the honorable manner expected of public servants, as well as to help each of us make the right decisions when faced with an ethical dilemma. Our code of ethics was also developed to guide each of us when we are faced with reporting the unethical behavior of a coworker, as well as that of an individual or organization that conducts business with the city. During each of our workdays, we have an individual obligation to serve our organization with fairness and respect. Ethics is at the heart of solid leadership. I trust that this video presentation of the city's code of ethics will help each of you continue to be ethical leaders and trusted employees in your own work environments.
I'm Helen Valkovich with the Office of the City Attorney.
And I'm John Danner, also with the Office of the City Attorney.
Have you ever seen a fellow employee who tried to do the right thing, but that thing turned out to be very wrong?
Perhaps someone would like to give a thank you gift for courteous service. Another person may want to help a friend fill out some complicated government forms. Maybe you've read or seen a news story about public officials and government employees who are accused of having conflicts of interest or misusing public property.
The City of San Antonio offers guidance to its employees on these ethical issues through the standards of conduct set out in the Code of Ethics. We'd like to give you an overview of the Ethics Code rules that every employee is responsible for knowing.
The Office of the City Attorney receives many questions about gifts, so let's start there. There are two basic rules. First, city employees cannot accept gifts when the reason for giving the gift is to reward or influence that employee in doing their job.
The second rule limits what types of gifts city employees may receive from three particular types of people: someone who is doing or seeking to do business with the city, a registered lobbyist, or someone who is seeking a zoning or platting decision. If the gift is from one of those three types of people, the employee must be aware that there are restrictions that will apply regardless of what the reason is for giving the gift.
Hi Anita, thanks for meeting me on such short notice. I'm glad I could have a chance to go over our new product line with you today.
No problem, Mark. You know we really want to get some new office furniture. Wow, the prices are a little expensive at this restaurant.
Don't worry about it. My expense account will cover this business lunch. Have you had a chance to go over our new catalog?
You know, I have, and I really love the mahogany desks and the leather chairs, but I don't think that our budget can cover that cost right now. I'm looking more at the velour chairs and the oak desks.
Well, the mahogany and leather will be going on sale next week, so if you can hold off until then, prices will still be a little higher, but the quality's far greater.
I don't know, Mark.
And if you go with the leather and mahogany, I might be able to get you a 50% discount on a purchase for yourself. Are you in the market for some nice furniture for your house?
You know, I really don't feel comfortable taking a personal discount from a vendor who's doing business with the city.
Don't worry about it. We like to offer these discounts to people who are going to purchase our furniture so they can become more familiar with our products and services. Oh, and I'd like to give you this nice desk calendar that has our email address and phone number on each page.
Anita has several questions here. Is it okay to accept the lunch? Does it matter how much the lunch costs? And what about that personal discount the salesman's offering her? He offers it to all the buyers, but can this buyer, Anita, accept? What about that calendar?
The first rule is that an employee cannot accept a gift where the intent of the gift is to reward or influence the employee in the way they do their job. There are no exceptions to this rule. In this case, the salesman is offering Anita a substantial personal discount in direct exchange for her decision to make a particular purchase. This would violate the city's ethics code.
The lunch itself and the calendar do not appear to be directly tied to Anita's decision-making on a purchase, but the gifts are from someone who clearly wants to do business with the city. So the second rule, which limits gifts a city employee can accept from someone who would like to do business with the city, would apply here. The second rule has exceptions, which allow a city employee to accept some gifts. Some of the more common exceptions are meals, up to $50, with no more than $500 a year from a particular person or organization, items of nominal value up to $50, and gifts of entertainment, transportation, or accommodations up to $500 a year.
So Anita may accept the meal, but only up to $50. She may also accept that calendar as an item of nominal or little value. Anita may also choose to pay for the meal herself. Please note that some employees who accept gifts may be required to report these gifts on an annual financial disclosure or gift report. Your supervisor will let you know whether you are required to file these reports.
There are some other exceptions to the restrictions on gifts from city vendors, lobbyists, and people seeking zoning or plating decisions. Employees can accept free or reduced admission to trainings or other events, such as conferences or receptions, which relate to their official city duties.
If a person or organization outside the city pays for business-related travel expenses, such as an airline ticket, accommodations, or admission to an event, all city personnel must turn in a travel report to the office of the city clerk, listing the expenses and the person or organization who paid the expenses.
Please remember, you're always free to decline gifts. If you choose to accept a gift from someone seeking business with the city or the other people seeking action from the city, and you have questions about these rules or the reports, please contact the City Attorney's Office.
Hey, Tony Angelica, how you guys doing? Can I get you some coffee?
Sure, thanks. Decaf, please.
Okay. There you go. No, put your money away. It's no good here. I appreciate everything you guys have done over the years.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Oh, also, I've got 2 extra tickets to tonight's game. Would you guys be interested in going?
That sounds like a lot of fun. We thank you for the coffee, but the tickets are too much.
Are you sure? I'd really like to do something nice for you guys. You've been so helpful over the years.
I would appreciate the offer, but why don't you take your wife?
Yeah, you know I like Tony Parker. He's great.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for the coffee, but
Y'all take
you have a
care.
good night.
The city's ethics code also sets out rules regarding conflicts of interest.
Under the Ethics Code, a city employee cannot take part in any matter that may affect his or her financial interests or the financial interests of family or household members, their businesses, or their employers. It also extends to anyone you are talking with about a business or employment opportunity. If the matter could affect the financial interest of any of these individuals or organizations, you have a conflict and you must recuse yourself.
This means you must tell your supervisor that you have a conflict and that the matter will need to be assigned to another employee. You must also file a form with the Office of the City Clerk to show that you are no longer handling the matter.
Hello, Karen. Can I bother you for a few minutes? Here's a list of applicants for the next academy class. I'm going to need you to review all of them for me.
Oh, Joe, I know that we're shorthanded this week, but I really don't think that I can get involved with this. My brother, he's one of the applicants, and so I believe that's going to be a conflict of interest. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to recuse myself. I'll fill out one of those recusal forms, and I'll file it with the Office of the City Clerk.
Okay, Karen. I guess I'll find someone else to do this for me. Thank you, girl.
Karen recognized that even though her work on the application would not affect her directly, it would affect her family member and therefore cause her, Karen, to have a conflict of interest.
The city has another rule which requires employees to treat everyone fairly by prohibiting employees from unfairly helping or hurting someone's private interests. Basically, decisions for the city must be based on the merits, not on personal considerations or preferences.
This rule also provides that employees cannot get an interest in some matter that's pending before the city, nor can we engage in reciprocal favors, where you'll do something for someone in exchange for them doing something for you. This rule also prohibits employees from being involved in the hiring or supervision of relatives.
Ms. Flores,
Hi, Inspector Cook. How are you?
I'm doing good today. How about yourself?
Good. How's the family?
Family's doing good. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to discuss with you a few problems that we still have. The back exit door is still bolted. And new problem, you've got boxes in front of the same door We work very closely with code compliance, and you've got some bare wires in the men's restroom that are going to need to be taken care of. What's up with the beehive in the women's restroom?
Let me explain some of this. The beehive, I have no idea how that happened. I've lost 2 employees trying to get rid of it. And the bare wires, I was waiting for your department, to come with a permit to help me there. And the boxes at the door, the delivery guy just left them there, and there wasn't much I could do. They're too heavy for me to move.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we are going to have to write this up today.
Do you have to do that today?
Yes, ma'am. We gave you a warning last week.
Why don't you let me buy you lunch, and we could talk about a plan on how to fix these things.
Okay, ma'am. I'm going to have to...
Your cousin came in last week asking if we had any openings, and maybe if you can hold off on this, we can bring him in and he can help us fix some of these things.
Alrighty, ma'am. Well, I'm going to have to pass on the lunch at this time. And here is your citation, and we'll be back with you to check next week on these things.
This employee, the inspector, recognized that overlooking all the problems at the business would not be fair to the other business owners. He did not allow his friendship with the business owner to give that person an advantage that the others would not get. Again, decisions for the city should be based on the merits, not on personal considerations or preferences.
Many employees are also trusted with information or records which are sensitive or confidential. City employees cannot release or provide information that is considered confidential. In some instances, release of such information can also be a violation of criminal law.
All employees are also entrusted with city property to do their jobs, such as cars and trucks, computers and telephones. And of course, the most important city resource, the employees' on-duty time. City employees cannot use or allow the use of city facilities, equipment, supplies, or their on-duty time for private purposes.
Of course, employees are permitted breaks or short periods of time to attend to personal business, such as calling to make a doctor's appointment or arranging childcare. But the use of city time or property for personal reasons should be very limited.
Hey Max, I'm going to take this camera for the weekend.
Sure.
Yeah, my nephew's got his first professional boxing match this weekend, so I thought I'd take some pictures for him. You want to go?
I don't think you should borrow the camera.
Why not? I'm going to bring it back. It's not costing the city anything. I'm going to use my own disc. Besides, I've been trying to look for a camera for 3 days and haven't been able to find one for the right price.
I think you should think about it. Besides, I'm going to be busy this weekend working an extra job.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Max. I'll get my own camera then. Bye.
Sounds good.
Max is right. David's plan to use the city's equipment would be a violation of the ethics code, regardless of whether or not it costs the city any money. But does Max himself have an ethics code problem with his second job? The ethics code prohibits employees from accepting outside employment that is related to or that might impair their performance of their city job.
So what's this other job you have, Max?
I'm going to work for a private company. They just contracted with the city to do some equipment, and they wanted me to go along since I know my way around. They've also wanted me to help them with their bookkeeping.
Did you get written approval from the chief's office like you're supposed to under the general manual?
No, I didn't know I had to do that.
Also, I don't think you can do a job that's related to the job you already do.
Well, then I'll ask the director this weekend when I start, and I'll see if maybe he can give me some other job that's not city related.
That sounds good. Make sure you check with the chief's office to make sure.
Great idea. Thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome. Now on this here.
If you wish to accept other employment outside the city, make sure you let your supervisor know and make sure you get their written approval. If the job is similar or relates somehow to the work that you are doing for the city, you should also contact the office of the city attorney.
All employees of the city enjoy the right to appear before the city to express their opinions or take care of a personal matter. However, employees of the city cannot accept payment from others to represent their interests before the city.
For example, an employee may wish to appear at a city council meeting to express an opinion on a proposed park project. That employee, however, could not accept payment from a neighborhood association or some other group to make that presentation. For many members of the management level staff, the City Charter and the City Ethics Code impose an additional restriction. In short, any staff member required to turn in financial disclosure statements cannot have an interest in a contract with the City. This extends to contracts between the City and the staff member's immediate family, or businesses owned by the staff member or their family. The penalty for a willful violation of this provision is the forfeiture of the City position, and the contract may also be voided.
Even when an employee leaves city service, the Ethics Code will affect how that former employee may interact with the city. These are called revolving door rules. First, former employees must keep confidential information confidential. Former employees cannot appear before the city on behalf of a client or private employer for a period of 2 years after leaving city service. Former employees also cannot work on contracts that they were involved in while working with the city for that same 2-year period.
This video is intended to serve as an introduction to the City's Ethics Code. We recommend that you read the entire code. It is available on the City's webpage. Also, the City Attorney's Office will provide copies of the code or training upon request. If you have any questions, you are welcome to contact the Office of the City Attorney and speak with the ethics staff.
Hi, Anita. How are you today? I really just wanted to thank you for all the work that you gave us and your assistance on the contract. I know your staff's really going to enjoy that furniture. We got you this gift basket as a token of our appreciation.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.